And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Ryan, and we are ready to break down some NHL preseason and some baseball. It actually works out that I'm on the hockey on the Wild side and Ryan's on the Blue Jays, the baseball side, because I have no baseball for today. Full transparency, I lost everything yesterday. I did get the push on the Jays game because it did, or the void in the Jays game. But Arizona and San Francisco, neither of them came through for me yesterday. And I just decided that it's the last day of baseball. I'm not going to jump into anything that I don't need to. So I looked over the slate briefly, didn't really like anything myself. So I do have two preseason hockey picks. Ryan has some baseball he likes, and then in best bets, there'll be some college football and some baseball and everything there for you. So we'll get to that in a bit, but we will start the show looking at the current show standings as we usually do. Ryan up over 10 units in best bets, 18-6 on the baseball season, which is awesome. 7.42 units overall, up. Dog of the day, up 4 units, and over under down 4 units. So overall, baseball is profitable on the show. Looking at football, nothing has changed. So also still profitable. College football, a little bit down, but I'm hoping here after this week that we'll be profitable in college football. And then other sports, again, still profitable with other sports. But we will get to today's slate. What's up, Terry? I need Dave's funny as hockey pick. They keep hashing. Yeah, he's not here at the moment, but love betting preseason hockey because of this show. Hey, thanks. Very much appreciated. What's up, Terry and Ryan? I smash a like. Thanks, Richie. And Raymond likes Avalanche -1.5. Not one of the games I got to, but we will start with preseason hockey here and look at the games that we have. Two kind of stood out for me on today's slate. And the first one is the first game up, Detroit and Washington. Detroit has a bunch of AHL players mostly playing today. Let me get it up exactly here. Bertuzzi. Okay, so Bertuzzi, Zadina, Kubalik are the only NHLers playing for Detroit today. Everybody else is AHLers and fringe players. Even goaltending. It doesn't look like looks like somebody named Sabrango. I'm not exactly sure. But Detroit does not really have any main players. Washington on the other side pretty much has their opening night lineup for the Caps. Darcy Kemper will play the whole game. Ovechkin's playing, Carlson's playing, Kuznetsov's playing. Everybody is basically playing for the Caps that is healthy currently. So I am taking Washington -1.5. You can currently find that for -125. Let's see here. -125, a couple spots, -130, -135. It has moved. I got it at -117. But I do like the Capitals here. I think it should be a smash spot against the Red Wings in this one. And my second game is Boston and New York Rangers under 5.5. I did see Boston's lineup, and it looks like Shesterkin will be playing for the Rangers. Both teams playing more of their opening night lineup. Swayman will go for Boston. I think it's going to be an even game, but I think it's going to be lower scoring. So I'm taking the under 5.5 in Boston and New York Rangers. And those are the only two games I got to as of now. I was actually looking at Calgary earlier, but they were -105. Now they're -143. So obviously they have regulars playing in that one. And I'm looking at Edmonton +133 I will have to see lines before I obviously pull the trigger on that. I did not see any lineups before the show. I had to run out briefly before the show, so there could be lineups now, but there wasn't earlier. But my main two plays for today: Washington -1.5 and the under 5.5 in Boston, New York Rangers. Ryan, did you get to any preseason hockey, or do you have any opinions on preseason hockey today?
No, I have not yet gotten to any preseason hockey. One thing I will, I guess, a word of caution about preseason hockey. I got involved in the Flyers Islanders game last night, and there was a goaltending change like at the very start of the game, and it took the broadcast team by surprise. Like they had no idea that the goalie that did play. So anything can happen in preseason. And the other word of caution is that there are draws are possible in preseason. Apparently, like the shootout is optional. Now we haven't seen this happen yet, but it could. And the broadcasters are talking about this. Is that there seems to be some resistance to having a shootout in preseason, and presumably your book will refund your bet if there's a draw. But I don't know if that's what happened. They probably don't know what will happen. But just keep that in mind.
All right. Yeah, I know. I think it's optional. The shootout, I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, luckily preseason is almost done. Not too much longer left, and we'll be on to regular season. Friday is the first game, but there will be preseason games and the regular game on Friday and Saturday, so it might be a little bit confusing, but we'll obviously break down the games on the show. Next up, BetStamp. Use code WILD in the referral code section. Definitely do your line shopping. Find the best odds for whatever you are betting. You can find my picks there at Let's Go Wild Picks. As soon as I bet them, I put them in. So make sure to follow me there. Do your line shopping. Verified lines. Everything is verified with BetStamp. So make sure to sign up and use code WILD. Here he is, the man of the hour. A little bit tardy, but I guess I won't fire you today. No, I'm just kidding. But
well, it's not that someone keeps changing the show times around or anything.
Yeah, true. But preseason hockey, Dave. We have people asking for your preseason hockey pick today. So what is it, or do you have one? I know you weren't too happy with yesterday's.
I don't have one. I'm taking a day off because I should be 4-1, but I went in. By the way, I don't take big negative. My picks are always going to be plus money, probably. So, puck line favorites and money line dogs. But what's up, nerd? But yesterday I was all within 2 minutes. I was covering. I wasn't covering. I was covering. I wasn't covering. So it was just too much of a rush for me. I need to sit back and contemplate some things before I come up with my next part of my strategy. But I don't have a pick today. I needed a day off. Today was an NFL capping day for me.
For sure. Thanks for bringing it up. I did do some thinking, and I've decided to discontinue the NFL show on Tuesday nights. Or Wednesday night, sorry. The fact that, Dave, you do basically kind of the same thing as you look ahead on your show. So I just decided instead of doing it twice, it doesn't really make much sense. So there will no longer be an NFL show on Wednesday nights. Tune into Dave's show. His YouTube link is in the description below. And obviously I will make appearances on there. Lots of other cappers on there. And you guys basically go through the NFL there. So tune in there for lots of sports, different picks. But
hockey coming up.
There you go. Wednesday is more focused towards football, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tune in there. There will no longer be a football show here on Wednesday nights. We'll obviously still go over football Thursday and Saturday night and Monday. So that will stay the same. But we'll move on to today's baseball slate. As I said, I took a brief look at it. Baltimore Orioles are now winning 5-4. I would have been on the over in the Toronto game in the first game. However, I did not get to it. It would have been a winner. So there's that. Game 2, I would look to the over again, but I'm not betting it. And that's basically my only opinions. I was looking at maybe Ohtani, but I don't want to get involved. I just don't want to get involved in today's baseball slate. So I'm not going to give out any leans or anything because I've kind of just put it aside, focusing on NFL and then my futures for baseball as well. And tomorrow we will have the normal show at 4 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll have at 4:30 our Major League Baseball playoff preview show. So make sure to tune into that as well tomorrow. But Ryan, baseball today, what do you think in this slate?
Yeah, I took sort of a deep dive into today's card because there's some really unusual things going on. I'll go over my picks really quickly, but my line of thinking was that there are 3 groups of teams. There are the Colorado Rockies types of teams who are just done for the season. There are the 8 wildcard teams that need to prepare for a wildcard game on Friday and want to, either they want to get work in for their pitchers. In the case of Blue Jays, they had a rested bullpen. They want to get some work in. Or in the case of like the Seattle Mariners, they've got really fatigued bullpens, and it's a question mark as to where they're going to get their sources of pitching. So there are some intriguing spots, but I do caution to venture carefully into this because there are different motivations. And watching today's early game, the players came out and swung at every first pitch. Like, they don't want to play a doubleheader today, so they're rushing through this. But last year, this last day of the season was 10-4-1 to the over. So there is some precedent to the over. And so with those thoughts in mind, I'll go quickly over my picks. And there's been a ton of lineup changes. So the lines, there were very few lines last night. Then the lines came out, and there's all these lineup changes. And there's something called the 29th man. So there's another roster spot. So what's happening is a lot of these teams are calling up AAA pitchers to pitch today. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. And I'm looking at a lot of overs. And I like the Cardinals Pirates over. The Cardinals called up someone from AAA to pitch. I think he's going to get a long leash because they don't want to go to their bullpen. They've been put their bullpen to use. So I like the over in the Cardinals Pirates today. It opened at 7.5. It's at 8 now. I just think that there's a lot of opportunities for this to go over, and the Cardinals want to get their bats going. They're a streaky team, and they're going to want to get their bats going. I did not get involved in Diamondbacks Brewers, but keep in mind that Merrill Kelly and Corbin Burns both have a ton of innings. So I think this is going to be a little bit closer to a bullpen game. I may get involved in a live bet. I may post it on my Twitter account if I do get involved. But I think that this is the line's a little bit too low here. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of Merrill Kelly and Corbin Burns. I am also I have a prop for the Guardians-Royals game. I think Aaron Savali is a different case here. He's the guy that's coming off the IL, and the Guardians want to ramp him up, not shut him down. So I like the over 4.5 strikeouts on Aaron Savali, and that's at roughly minus 115. My favorite play of the day is the Tigers-Mariners, which the total now is 7.5. This got really hairy yesterday, and basically it went to extra innings, and the Mariners brought in their catcher to throw in the 10th inning. And the reason they did that is because they've got so many pitching problems, and they're going to have a question for resources. I think these pitchers are good. There's a lot of trends to the under for both of these teams, but I think there's going to be an exceptionally long leash on some of these pitchers that there's going to be opportunities for runs. So my best bet is on the over 7.5 in Tigers-Mariners. I'm looking at Braves-Marlins as a possible live bet. The Marlins called up Eliezer Hernandez for AAA to pitch. I also like this Giants-Padres over. The Giants have they're one of the few teams that's going to bullpen games regularly, and it's starting to show. And they've got some real bullpen issues. However, like these lineups the pitchers are changing. So my bet got canceled already that I made today. Mike Clevenger is scratched because of illness, and they called someone up from AAA. So this is a real good over bet, I think, and also a possible live over bet. I'm on the Red Sox because they opened as a dog against a AAA pitcher. That line's changed a lot, but I think it's good value on the Red Sox. I also like two bets on the Cubs Reds. This pitching matchup has happened twice in the last month or 6 weeks, and the Cubs have won both of them. So I like the Cubs to do it for the third time to win, and I also like the under. I do not understand why this line is set at 8.5. Neither lineup is very good, so I like the under in this one as well as the Cubs to win. And those are my plays, but I caution to tread gently because there's some unusual things happening and there's a lot of moving parts going on.
Yeah, for sure. You could always do smaller bets. Today's a perfect day maybe to lower your unit size if one wants, but totally up to everybody, of course. Cordy, I think is how I'm going to pronounce it, says you got me liking Angels Oakland over now. So he likes the over there.
Yeah, the Angels are one of the best hitting teams in the league. They're hitting well. They're a good team to back on the over.
Yeah. Richie P says, I couldn't believe Toronto had Vlad in the lineup today. Vladdy refused the off day. That was for yesterday's game. I'm not sure if he's going to play. I hope he's not playing in the second game of the doubleheader, but he was asked to have the day off, and he said no. He does not want it off. So obviously his decision, but he better not get hurt. But Dave, final day of the regular season of baseball. What do you think?
I think I'm fairly disinterested. I looked at everything last night, and I'm still two bets that I'm thinking about making is, and Joe Madden turned me on to Houston team total over 4. I guess if I like that bet, maybe I like the over in that game. I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at the A's under, and I'm trying to. I saw it at 2.5 at -142. No way in hell I'm going to take that. But if I can find a decent price on that, either first 5 or full game, I might. See, this is the thing. It's 2.5 runs for the full game is -142. A half a run for the first 5 is +135. Can Ohtani shut him out? Maybe. I don't know. I'm kicking those two bets around. I don't have anything booked yet.
All right. And we will. It's obviously a shorter
Ryan's
show.
point, just before I stop, to Ryan's point, this is the worst day of betting baseball because everything's set in stone. You kind of don't know what's going to happen. You have some players that like Vladdy that are young and hard headed that should be sitting out that aren't, and then you don't, and then you have pitchers that you've never heard of pitching. So it's to cap these games is kind of up in the air. I will have one bet in baseball to have it, but I totally agree. Today's the worst day in baseball to bet.
But if you can find edges,
if you can find one, go for it. You're better than me.
We'll move on to the best bet segment and look and start with over under. For me, Boston, New York Rangers under 5.5. It just so happens that one of my bets was a total, which is perfect. So I have 2 bets to give out on the best bet segment, obviously. Nick is going with UCF and SMU over 64.5 in college football. Dave, is there a total that you like today?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this just because it's plus money, and I think Shohei. Obviously they don't want him to get hurt, but they have no reason to rest him or anything, and I think he can go 5 innings. I like Oakland a half a run plus 135. Yeah, to shut him.
So Oakland team total under
for Ohtani to shut him out first 5. Yep.
Plus
135 on DraftKings.
All right, Ryan, is there a total you like today?
Yes, I will take St. Louis Pittsburgh over. I believe it's 7.5 now. I guess I believe it's 8 now.
Yeah, 7.5 minus 115.
So is there a Wednesday night college football game?
There
Or
is.
that tomorrow?
It's tonight.
It is, okay.
It's SMU, UCF. You have those reversed. I don't know if you do the ESPN thing where you put
Nick typed it in. Not me.
yes. ESPN does it that way, but the home it's in Central. It's at Central Florida.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's a bit confusing, but I try to put the home team, like the visitor, first, but it is what it is. Dog of the day, crickets. It doesn't look like anybody's put in a dog of the day. You guys are shaking your heads no, so I won't even ask. No dogs of the day today. I apologize to everybody, but nobody wants to force a dog just to give it. So if we don't like it, we don't like it. But best bets, we got lots of best bets here. For me, favorite bet of the day, Washington Capitals minus 1.5. Backing Darcy Kemper and Ovechkin to beat up on Detroit's AHL lineup. Nick is taking the same pick for his over-under. UCF SMU over 64.5 plus 110. Dave, you said UCF minus 2.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that's minus 110, but
yeah, it is. And just to talk about that, if anyone cares and wants a backup on that, SMU is the best passing offense in the country. UCF is like the fourth best run offense in the country. The problem is what UCF does well, SMU doesn't guard against or defend against, and they're I think 118th in the country in rush defense, while UCF is in the top third. I need to get the exact number. I think they're actually 33rd in the country at defending the pass. So what UCF does well, they're going to do better at than SMU, in my opinion. And to kind of put the cherry on top is UCF's 4-0-1 their last 5 at the house versus SMU.
I love those kind of stats. So I wish you luck.
Thanks.
Ryan, Detroit, Seattle over 7.5, right?
That's right.
All right, plus 100. And then Occupancy sent in his best bet. It's going to be Texas Rangers money line, which he got for minus 110. The best odds for it is minus 105. So we get minus 105 for Texas Rangers money line. But that is today's show. Short show, obviously, with the last day of baseball. Tomorrow will be another short show as we go over NHL preseason and the one NFL game. But then, obviously, we'll have our MLB playoff show. Tune in. It's likely to get wild. I've already heard some of Nick's picks, and I'm going to disagree, obviously. But it is. I'm sure we'll all disagree on different things, but that's what happens. But best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. I haven't bet MLB since I took the Braves all 3 games versus the Mets. Hey, you did well, didn't you? And you're focusing on NHL. Oh, NFL. Yeah. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. On Nerd Talk, the Copper Collective with Dave on Dave's channel later today, 8 p.m. East, 8:30, right? 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune into that. And we will see you again tomorrow, regular time, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode. Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Best of luck today, guys. Have a good one.